Alright, I'm about to make some quinoa stuffed bell peppers for dinner, so I figured I would bring you guys along. This is one of my childhood memory recipes. My grandmother used to make stuffed peppers all the time. So this is a little spin-off. It's a little bit healthier. She used to use ground beef. I'm using ground turkey and I'm using quinoa. So let me show you the ingredients. Alright, so to get started, so these are the ingredients that you're gonna need, and it's a very flexible recipe. So if you don't have one of these things, or if you don't like one of these things, you can absolutely swap it out. So I have, I would say about 2, maybe 3 cups of quinoa right here. I made a double batch earlier today and just saved half so I could cook it once and be done. I have some extra virgin olive oil. I have 5 bell peppers. I just got 3 green and 2 red. I have 1 poblano pepper. I actually don't think these are very spicy, but if you don't like heat, you can just leave it out. I'm gonna mix this into the stuffing mixture. I have a pound of 93% leaned ground turkey. We're only gonna use half of this for this recipe. Black beans, we're only gonna use half this can. A small can of petite diced tomatoes, and they don't have any seasoning in them. They're just tomatoes. Some garlic powder. I have Mexican 4 cheese blend, but you can use mozzarella or whatever kind of cheese you have on hand. We have some fresh corn that we grilled for supper last night, and I just cut it off the cob, and we're going to use that for this recipe. I have some fresh garlic and salt and pepper. So let's jump right in. Let's get started. Alright, so for this recipe, I'm going to start with a big skillet that's covered. And I'm just going to heat this up for medium-high heat. And we are going to brown our turkey. So for this recipe, you're going to need a big 9x13 pan. You can use a glass one, whatever works for you. And this is where we're going to put our peppers in. So to prep these peppers, all you want to do is make sure that they sit flat. So you want to try not to cut too much off the bottom, but that way you can kind of prop it up. Top off, and we're going to use all of this extra pepper. We're not going to throw that away. So let me take all my peppers out of this bowl, because this bowl is going to be what I call my trash bowl. So any seeds or ribs that I want to take out, you're just going to pop in here. You put your peppers right in there. So you want it to be pretty stable, or at least be able to lean up against another pepper and not fall over. So there you go. Those are all the peppers just sitting in that pan, so they're ready to go. And now I'm just gonna chop up all of that extra pepper tops, and you'll see what I did with that in a second. Alright, so these are the pepper tops. I don't need that many peppers, so I'm probably only going to use a handful. I have my quinoa ready to go. This is that poblano pepper. That whole pepper is going to go into the turkey mixture. I have 3 small cloves of garlic. My peppers are all set in their pan. I have the corn waiting to go in. I opened my diced tomatoes. And then, super important, I drained and rinsed my black beans. And again, I'm only using probably less than half of this. So we're just waiting for the turkey to brown up. It's almost there. And I like to kind of chop it into small chunks so you don't get any big pieces. It just incorporates better with the quinoa. So this is just about all browned, and because it's 93% lean, there's no reason to drain it. There's nothing to drain. So I'm gonna add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon or so of garlic powder. And this is where we're gonna also make sure to season with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And you can adjust that as we go. So now that this is brown, we're gonna add our garlic and let that soften. And this is when it starts to smell so good. We're also gonna add our poblano peppers. And I really like poblanos. It adds, I don't know, like just a different flavor than bell peppers. But like I said, you can use whatever you like or whatever you have on hand. So at this point, while the meat and the peppers and the garlic are cooking, I want to make sure to preheat my oven. So we're gonna do 350 and let that go. And from this point on, this comes together really fast. So you'll see in a minute, I'll add the rest of the ingredients. I did want to add just a handful of the red and green peppers, mostly for color more than anything else. And we're going to cover that and just let it steam for 3 or 4 minutes. Alright, so this has been cooking for 3 to 4 minutes. I just want to make sure that the peppers have softened a little bit. And that looks good. So, we're gonna add in our corn. And it is corn season here. And this corn is delicious. It's so sweet. Look how pretty that is. So we're gonna add that. We're gonna add half of our black beans. And like I said, you can omit the black beans or you can omit the turkey or just do a mixture like I am. And then to this, we're gonna add 1 can of diced tomatoes. I'm gonna add a little more salt, a little more pepper, and this is where I'm gonna add the quinoa. So really, from this point on, you just want it all to heat through because we're gonna throw this in the oven, so it's gonna finish cooking in there. Look how good that looks. And this looks a little dry to me, so I am gonna add a little bit of chicken broth, but it just depends. Personal preference. Alright, so this has been cooking, it's all warmed through. Yes, I'm using, my oven's preheated. Yes, I'm using a 12-layer fork. But I just want to, I just want to test it for seasoning. That's good. I think I'm gonna add a little more garlic powder and a little more salt. But that is good. Okay, so you can turn the heat off. And then, let me just move you guys over a little bit. So this is super easy. All you want to do is take your mixture, and I'm going to pick up the peppers, and you just spoon it in. Alright, so there are the filled peppers, and that mixture is pretty tasty. So the last thing I need to do is just cover these with shredded cheese and pop them in the oven. So you can leave the cheese off if you want. You can do a little. It kind of melts and goes in between the pepper and the mixture in the oven. So here we go. This is pretty easy. These are great for leftovers. And this mixture is also really great in zucchini boats. My husband's not a fan of zucchini. It was on the menu, and he asked if we could change that. Any other hubbies not zucchini fans? So there we go. So I am gonna add a couple tablespoons of water in here just because a little bit of mixture got in there and I don't want it to burn. But this is gonna go in the oven. We're gonna check on it in about 15 minutes. So after about 15 minutes, I did cover it with aluminum foil, but look how good those look. Yum, yum, yum. Also, I'm saving the rest of this mixture to make zucchini boats at the end of the week. I'm just gonna mix taco seasoning in with this. And just so I'm keeping it real, my kids are not gonna eat those. I could put them on a plate and fight with them, but that is a battle not worth fighting to me. So they are having grilled cheese with red grapes and cucumbers. That's Fate's, that's Braden's. You guys want to say hello? Are you eating?
You can wait for us.
Rude. Martin's home.
Hey.
This monster. You waiting to say grace? I'm gonna have a green one, and I'm adding a ton of cilantro on mine. Martin doesn't like cilantro. I do.
Not that I don't like it, I just don't love it.
So we're gonna cut into these and see how they are. Ready?
Ready. Wait, do you want to say it, bud?
Dear God, thank you for our food. Thank you for our family. Thank you for a journey.
I just noticed something. Martin stole one of the kids' grilled cheeses. Child. How's your food?
Good.